So, a lot has happened since my last video on Wrestling Entertainment Series, aka AOP's new promotion that they're starting. And the promotion is under quite a bit of scrutiny, and I also have my own story to tell. So stay tuned for that. But let's recap quickly. What is Wrestling Entertainment Series, and why have AOP started their own wrestling promotion? So AOP announced that they would be running their first ever wrestling show in Nottingham in a 10k arena just 3 weeks before the show was set, which is it was set to happen tomorrow on June the 4th. And they announced a very star-studded card and a very interesting card, including Braun Strowman against UFC fighter Allistair Overeem in the main event for the world title, as well as that Nia Jax versus Lana for the women's title. You had AOP versus the Forgotten Sons for the tag titles, Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green against the influence of Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood for the women's tag team championships, as well as that you had Lindsay Dorado, Mojo Rawley, Fandango, Mike Bennett, Biff Busick, all these other people announced for the card as well. And it was a card just full of ex-WWE wrestlers, ex-NXT people, and American stars all coming over to the UK to wrestle in a 10k arena. It was crazy, and it is still a crazy card. However, in a move that probably isn't very shocking at all, Wrestling Entertainment Series announced that the show has been postponed. From June 4th up until mid-July is when the new date is taking place for this show. And with that has come an array of problems and some controversy now surrounding the promotion. But first of all, let's talk about the actual announcement of the postponement. So, it wasn't actually Wrestling Entertainment Series who first revealed that there was some stuff going on with the show. It was actually Chelsea Green. She responded to a Fight TV promotional tweet for the show saying, "Nope, it's actually cancelled." Keyword, she said the show is cancelled, not postponed. And it wouldn't be until the next day that Wrestling Entertainment Series would post their own statement saying, "Hey, we are postponing the show." But it was first Chelsea Green who said, "Hey, no, the show's not actually taking place on June 4th, so why are you promoting it?" With this has come an array of issues. First of all, Chelsea Green and Tennille Dashwood had to pull out the show because they have bookings on Australia at the time of the new date. And also, Deonna Purrazzo has gone ahead and pulled out of the show, saying the entire situation has been frustrating to say the least, and she will not be appearing at Wrestling Entertainment Series. Seemingly nothing to do with having dates already booked at that time. She just doesn't want to appear, maybe out of some sort of trust issues with the company now, and rightly so in a way, because all these wrestlers would have had to book off many dates in order to fly to the UK, and they would have to book off all these dates in America where they can't take bookings, make themselves free for this UK date just to have it cancelled like 4 days before is very peak. The reason that has been given for the cancellation is basically they just weren't prepared for it in time. They didn't expect the Queen. For some reason, they didn't take into consideration that is Jubilee weekend, aka the Queen's like 70th anniversary in the UK, and everyone is celebrating that. There's a bank holiday weekend. Everyone is busy. And they also maybe didn't consider, hey, selling a 10k arena in 3 weeks is a really bad idea and is never usually ever gonna work. Like, regardless if the Queen's Jubilee was this weekend or not, I think they would have postponed it or cancelled it anyway, because it was a very ambitious, to put it lightly, move to run a 10k arena 3 weeks in advance and only announce the card 2 weeks in advance, not have any builds of matches, no feuds, no promos, no nothing, no proper promotional material really being posted other than some like profiles of the wrestlers on it, but we already know who's on it. And yeah, there's nothing really being promoted for the show, so no wonder it's been postponed anyway. As well as that, throughout this weekend is Super Strong Style, which is Progress's yearly 3-day wrestling show / tournament, and one of the biggest weekends of the year for British wrestling, and they're directly competing with that, and that show has been built up for ages. Progress run shows frequently, but they built up the shows, they have a dedicated fan base who go to the shows, who will be going to that over Wrestling Entertainment Series, and they're trying to compete with that on their first show, while again, running a 10k arena 3 weeks in advance, on Jubilee weekend. They never stood a chance to begin with running on June 4th. As well as this, in a now deleted tweet, and hopefully it's been deleted because the situation has been resolved, a guy based in Nottingham, a British wrestler, was renting out his ring for the show, and due to postponement, had to demand payment. He originally replied to the postponement announcement tweet saying this, and had his reply hidden by the official account. The tweet is now deleted, so I can't find record of it anywhere, and I'm hoping that it's been deleted because the whole thing has been resolved and is being paid the money that he's rightfully owed. Also, you might remember in my last video, I mentioned that I might have an interview coming up with AOP themselves. I doubt that's happening anymore. And the reason why is because I was actually in contact with AOP's manager, and that he was very receptive at first, saying, hey, just say when you want to interview the guys, and we were talking and things like that. After I released my video, or in fact just before I released my first video, I messaged him saying, hey, are they available this weekend for an interview? And I never got a response. I still haven't got a response. And it's surprising because when we first started speaking, he was responding very quick, very receptive, etc, etc, and obviously he's not responding, and I think it's very clear why he's now no longer responding to me, and it's because of this show being postponed and everything surrounding it right now. There's no way they're going to be taking interviews, which makes me very suspicious once again if this show is actually going to happen. 3 people have already pulled out. I imagine people such as Lena, CJ Perry, Adam Scher, Allistair Overeem will still be on the show because they don't really have any rival bookings. They're not taking bookings elsewhere, are they? Whereas people like Biff Busick, Mike Bennett, Lindsay Dorado, they could possibly pull out. Guess time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. Again, people like Deonna, Chelsea Green, and Tennille Dashwood have already pulled out, which isn't surprising given they're very active on the indie scene, and so they have other dates that they need to fulfill, and obviously maybe out of trustworthy issues based on Deonna's tweets. I still stand by that if this show takes place, I will be going to it. I am 100% going to it if it takes place because I am so interested to see how it goes. Will they change arena? We'll have to wait and see. They're selling the tickets directly through the arena's website, so there's a chance they can't change the venue, but who knows how many tickets they've sold. Time will only tell come show day if that day does actually come and if they do actually run the show. But either way, this whole situation has been so interesting. Again, I'm 100% going to go to the show and do coverage for it if it does take place, and I will buy a ticket, but I'm not buying my ticket yet. I'll buy my ticket the day of the show because I don't want to buy it and risk maybe not getting a refund if it doesn't take place, because I'm very suspicious of it right now. I can't lie, I'm very suspicious, but again, I'm interested by it, and I know I'd probably have a good time if I did go to it, so I still want to go to it if it does take place, because it's still so interesting to me. But either way, that is it for this video on Wrestling Entertainment Series and everything surrounding it at the moment. What a crazy world wrestling is right now, but I'll see you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.